This is level L, list 10, and we're doing the day 1 page. And our words are talk, walk, chalk, stalk, balk. These are from Old Germanic, and it's the AL making the OR sound. So you can colour in the AL in each of those. Then there's not many words you can see that we have that AL making the OR sound. Okay, and these ones down here, we've got the ut sound, so we'll change colours, and we've got ut, ud, sh, ud, and the last couple, this is a bit of a revision. We know that we can use the Y for the long E sound at the end of a word. We just want to check that you've got it, so hungry, angry. So change colours to mark those in. So we could look for some patterns here too. We can see that all of these OR sounds where we're using the AL seem to all end with a K, so we could colour that in. After a long vowel sound, we know that we always use a K, so the OR sound is a long vowel sound. Now in the next set, we've got the LD at the end of each of these. Could, would, and should. And then the last ones, we've got the GR, but it's not really a pattern other than they're just sounds in those words. Okay, so what does talk mean? It means to have a conversation. It's the words that come out of our mouth that we can hear. You can talk with someone, so you can say words to each other. We hear them and then we respond to them. Walk is the way we move one foot in front of the other, slowly. We're not rushing when we do it. If we were going faster, we'd be running. Chalk is something that we use to write. It's a type of stone that they crush up and make into these cylinders that we can use. They add a bit of colour to them, and then we can write on a chalkboard or on a blackboard to make marks. A stalk is this stem of a plant that we have. That's the stalk. Balk means when you stop at something, you might balk at doing something, you decide you don't want to do it, change your mind about something. Could is when you are undecided, whether you don't know whether you want to do something. You could do it, but should you do it? So you'd have to make up your mind. So it's not a strong word, it's an optional word. Like I could do that, but I'm not sure. Would means yes, I would like to do that. It's more definite. And should means you definitely should do it. There's no ifs and buts about it. It's something that should definitely happen. Hungry means you want food, and angry means you're feeling cross. So let's read those words, sound them and spell them. Get your little bit of paper ready to cover it with. So we've got talk, 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 T-A-L-K, T-A-L-K, T-A-L-K. Let's write it, T-A-L-K, T-A-L-K, T-A-L-K. Okay, and then check to make sure that you've spelt them correctly. Let's do could, C-O-U-L-D, 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 C-O-U-L-D. Cover it, write it 3 times. Check it. When you finish, if you've made a mistake, rub it out and start them all over again. You can do the rest of those on your own. This is level L, list 10, day 2, and we're looking at the OR sound as in talk, walk, chalk, stalk, balk. And here we've got the ut sound in could, would, should, and the E sound in hungry, angry. So on these ones with the OR sound, you can see we've got a K after the OR sound in each of them. Talk, walk, chalk, stalk, and balk. And in these ones, we've got an LD. That L is ud. That is really nearly silent, that L. LD on the end of all of those. And hungry, the Y on the end here is very common, that for the long E sound in a multisyllabic word. it's most commonly just a Y. There are only 10 words that we commonly use that end in EY. So this is a matter of you remembering that most of the time we use a Y for the long E sound in a word with more than one syllable. Okay, so let's go back and read sound and write the word. We've got talk, T-A-L-K, and cover it and write it. So you know the meanings of these ones are quite easy. Talk is when we speak and we have a noise coming out of our mouths and we use it to communicate to others. Walk is when it's a slow moving forward motion that we use with our legs to move our bodies in a direction. Chalk is the material that we use to write on boards, blackboards. Stalk is the stem of a plant. Balk is when you might suddenly stop doing something. You might balk at an idea, or stop if you can see you're about to have an accident or run into someone. Could means you might do something. Would means you will do it. Should means it's definitely going to happen. Hungry means your tummy's telling you that you need food. Angry is when you feel cross. So copy the words to match the meaning. A stroll, another word for a stroll is a walk. You can do those quite easily. Make the word, so you've got to go but-ork and write the word there. And the same with these ones, just got to make the words up. Fill in the gaps with the missing word. We something chat about dinosaurs all day. You can work out which of the missing words from up here that will fill each of those spaces in the sentences. This is level L, list 10, and we're doing the day 3. Here we've got the OR sound in talk, and we're using an AL for the OR sound. So we've got talk, walk, chalk, stalk, balk, and you can see that each of those are ending with a K after the long vowel sound. We just use a K. Down here we've got could, would, and should, and you could really say that that L has become silent. It's making the OU make a O sound. Hungry, angry, you've got the Y making its long E sound at the end. Remembering that we usually use a Y at the end of a word, not an EY for the long E sound. There are very few words that have EY at the end of them. There are thousands that end with a Y. So let's read the words, sound the words, spell the words and write them, and we're going to cover them to make sure that we've sounding and spelling them correctly. So we've got talk, talk, T-A-L-K, cover it and write it, and then check to make sure that you've spelled it correctly. Here you're doing the verb family, so your base word plus S, base word plus ing, and the base word plus ed for the past tense. So talked, it sounds like you're writing a T there, but you know ed can make a t, d, or id sound, and in these words that end with a K, we're going to get the t sound coming through. So fill in the gap with the missing list word or extension. So this little table here will help you to fill in those words. Comparatives and superlatives. Now, we're adding to mean more and est to make a word mean the most. So a comparative is meaning more, a superlative is meaning the most of something. Now, because we have a consonant before this Y, that means we have to change the Y to an I before we add the and the est at the end of the word. Same with angry, there's a consonant before the Y, so we're going to change the Y to an I to make it say angrier, and then again when we're making it say angriest. So down here, proofread which two are correct, circle them and write them. So hopefully you know that should of is short for should have, not should of. That's a common error that a lot of people make. So just be careful. Should of is the same, is the shortened version, the contraction of should have. Change into a noun and use one in a sentence. Well, we know that if we add to the end of a word, it tells us someone who. So someone who talks is a talker. Someone who walks is a walker. Someone who stalks is a stalker. So you can write a sentence down the bottom here with one of those words in with the on the end forming a noun. This is level 11, list 10, and we're doing the day 4 page, and we're discussing linking verbs and adverbial phrases, and we're doing a sound sort with the 11 representations of the or sound. So use these linking verbs to finish the sentences. So your choices are, is, was, were, be, being, and been. We something tired after the race. Take note of the tense, if it's past or present tense or future tense. We were tired after the race, need to be afterwards. You can work out the rest of those within your group and write them in. Highlight the adverbial phrase in the following sentences. Write the adverb at the end of each sentence. So the sneaky thing to remember here is that an adverb frequently ends with ly, so that would be the adverb, and it's always describing a verb. It's used to add to a verb. So felt would be the verb. Now, if it's asking for the adverbial phrase, so that means the word that the adverb goes with. So the adverbial phrase would be felt poorly. So it contains the adverb and the verb that it's describing. But at the end here, we only have to write the adverb. So we're going to write poorly at the end. You can find the adverbs in each of these sentences and then find the verb that goes with it and underline them or highlight them. But just write that adverb at the end here. Now down the bottom it says fill in the missing or sound and then sort the words into the correct group. Now you're going to find 3 for each of these representations. So let's start and see how we go. So we've got whoop or so we'd use AR for the or sound there. So then we'd need to write it under the AR. And you might have to juggle these bits. So you've got bore. Now it could be OAR, it could be ORE. I'm going to try it with OAR. But if I've got too many of one representation and not enough of the other, I'm going to have to perhaps rub it out and change it. So make sure you're writing in pencil so that's easy to do. You may even choose to highlight the colours of the phonogram, so make all OAR red perhaps, and then all the OAR words you could colour in red, and I might use blue for the AR making the R sound and highlight all those words in blue. You might need to work together within your group to work out which phonogram is used to finish off each of these words.